In 2003, 10-year-old Ben Rees had an idea.
Our son decided that we would charge people maybe to hunt with some of the celebrities. So he was always a caring young man that always wanted to give back to the hospital and the children in the rooms next door.
And with that, the Aiming for a Cure Foundation found a unique way to raise money to help children with cancer and their families.
So our journey began on April 28, 2000. The day that we heard the word cancer, and we knew our lives would change forever.
When Ben was 7, he was diagnosed with brain cancer. He fought bravely and overcame it, but 2 years later, it returned. Ben died in 2005.
You find out your child has cancer, and it's the first time you really heard cancer, the C word, in your entire family. You're down there, you take treatments, and you get kind of the ball rolling, and all of a sudden you're sitting there realizing, wow, these people are taking really good care of us down here. I wish there's some way that we could just write them out a check, you know, for the staff and all the people down here to show them our appreciation. And, well, when you're dealing with a child with cancer, you just can't write out checks, and I could have never wrote out a check big enough.
The Rees family spent many days and weeks at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital with Ben. Throughout it all, Ben never worried about himself, only about what could be done for other children suffering from cancer.
When I first met Ben, he was one of those kids that I would go in every day and, you know, see what I could do for him, see if he needed anything, and every time he would say, oh no, I'm fine, I'm good, and you know, he would maybe want a video game or something like that, but his family was always with him, and he seemed to always be adjusting very well to hospitalization. Some of the kids really have trouble. And what I found, the longer I knew him and the more I worked with him, was that he always was more concerned about the child in the room next to him whose parents maybe weren't there that day. Or he would say, no, I'm okay, you go and spend time with the kids who don't have parents here, or kids that need you more than I do right now. He was always like that.
Ben's parents, Steve and Jody, learned firsthand what parents of children with cancer go through.
When we started this, it was one thing that we wanted to do is make sure that our money didn't go to wages or brick and mortar. It went to some of the things that we learned in the 5.5 years of being down there that was important to family members, and the phone cards, you know, the travel back and forth. We were 45 minutes from the hospital. There's people halfway across the country, some people down there around the world. Phone cards to communicate back with their families and all relatives, friends, and gas back and forth. Also the food. There's a lot of non-insured expenses that accrue while you're down there. So we like to cover those, and you know, we've helped with funerals. We've helped with expenses getting to and from funerals. We brought actual siblings back to see their brother or sister when it was end of life, and they wanted to see him one more time, and the families couldn't afford to do that. So we do a lot of things, and it's important to us when we talk about 100% of the proceeds go to the cause, that we are a volunteer organization and that we do bring the money back all to the families in their mission statement.
You know, people think everybody has insurance. Not everybody has insurance. People think that everybody's got a lot of money that they can just, stay in a hotel. What if you got to stay in a hotel for a year? They don't think about that kind of stuff. So, you know, I think the other cool thing is the way we distribute our money. It's not, I mean, we put money out there for research, and I think we should, and I think we do a good job of it because of some of the people on our board. Dave Tapman, I mean, he's just like one of those guys. You know, he knows where we need to put our money, but the cool part is that we give money to those people for reasons that you don't really think about, like hotels, like gas money, like an airplane ticket, like toys for the kids, like computers for the kids. I mean, it doesn't take long to spend a lot of money and take care of those kind of things. So I think that we're unique in that we've tried to address a lot of those issues that other organizations either haven't thought of or just don't to this point. And I think it's really important. I think that's what makes us the coolest.
With Ben's spirit in mind and the idea of charging people to hunt with celebrities, an annual weekend fundraiser event was born.
Thanks a million for coming, helping to celebrate our 10th anniversary Aiming for a Cure event.
Teams of hunters joined up with a celebrity for a pheasant hunt and clay pigeon shoot. Over 2 days, the hunters share great times in the field, all while raising money for a great cause. Some of the celebrities have been with Aiming for a Cure from the beginning.
The outdoor industry to me is one of the most amazing group of people there is. And the reason I say that is because they always seem to have a very strong dedication and inspiration to give back that doesn't exist in a lot of other places. And people that are conservationists and stewards of the land and hunters, and they fit so well with charities, you know what I mean, for children, because they truly get it. And they truly aren't out there because it's a competition, or aren't out there because they get to see the beautiful ringneck pheasant fly, which is tremendous, and they get to shoot these clays in a wonderful course. They're out there because of the same reason I am. It's because everybody's smiling. Everybody understands that that time, whether they're a guide or whether they're a hunter or a sponsor or a celebrity, it's making a difference somehow in the lives of a child or many children. And you know, at the end of the day, you know, that's what matters. That's what matters to me anymore. It's really all that's important.
One of the hunters at the 2013 event was Ron Rolling. His son Will was diagnosed with cancer, but is now in remission. The Rolling family has benefited from Aiming for a Cure and is eager to help give back.
What they have done for us is the few times that we unfortunately had to come down to the hospital for either clinic visits or hospital stays, they've come to us, made sure everything was taken care of, seeing if we needed anything, gave us some cafeteria cards. A couple times we got a few little Hy-Vee cards. We've seen them give toys to other kids, and just to see their faces light up from a simple little game or stuffed animal, it's pretty wonderful.
Unfortunately, sometimes it takes a circumstance like this to know how many good people are out there. It's amazing.
The money Aiming for a Cure donates to the hospital goes directly to the families and to cancer research projects.
As a medical professional, Aiming for a Cure support is very integral to our overall mission. You know, our mission obviously is to help cure these children of their underlying cancer or hematological problem. And Aiming for a Cure helps fill in a lot of gaps in that care. Important gaps such as niceties on the unit, help with transportation. The list goes on and on as far as larger projects such as refurbishing parts of the bone marrow transplant unit, parts of the children's hospital clinic, things of that nature.
We are admitted to the hospital for our stem cell, and now he's giving me Hy-Vee cards. Well, I'm ecstatic. This is just, this is just awesome. I'm thinking you don't have to eat at the cafeteria all the time. I can go grab some fresh fruit for Cassie, you know. And when he comes in and tells me about the money they're gonna give to Cassie, it was like a huge, relief.
For those things that fell outside of the box of what I usually can help families with, they stepped up, and there was really never any question as to the why, or, you know, why this family or why these circumstances. It was always, if the need is there, we're here to help.
They play a major role in some research opportunities at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. In fact, This is now the 10th year of Aiming for a Cure, and to date they've contributed $600,000 to research endeavors with the clinicians and scientists at the university. And without that basic research, we can't make advances in the long term of what we're trying to do with curing some of these illnesses that we take care of.
To know that what they're doing is making a difference, that there is kids that survive cancer because of the research that is done.
I think Aiming for a Cure comes in and really just puts their money where their mouth is. Actually, they step up right at the very beginning of a bone marrow transplant for children. You know, they help financially. They will provide financial assistance of $500 to all families who are initiating a bone marrow transplant. That is to help with the expenses that are, you know, exist while you're at the hospital. Not only at the beginning of transplant is there a need, but as children prepare to go home, families really have to do a lot to their home. They, you know, have to steam clean their carpets. They have to clean their air ducts, get the house really ready so that space is environmentally friendly for the kid when he gets home. So those costs were being incurred by families, and families were having to do things, you know, put things on credit cards, you know, go without in other areas just to get their home prepared to bring their child home after they've been gone for, you know, 1 to 3 months. So Aiming for a Cure then stepped up and said, we're going to help at the beginning, financial assistance, and we're also going to help at the end to make sure that when your child does go home, it's the safest environment that it can be. So Aiming for a Cure now also provides $500 in cash assistance to families to prepare their home to that great day when their child gets to go home.
Kids admitted to the hospital get new toys, video games, books, even birthday parties while they are undergoing treatment.
And his comment was, but this is my vacation. He loves going to the hospital and being there because of all the other kids, the activities, the nurses, and no school.
And together with Aiming for a Cure, child life specialists from the hospital take some kids on a shopping spree to buy toys for other children.
The Aiming for a Cure shopping spree is, it's just one of those awesome experiences. The child life staff, we kind of fight over who gets to go because it's just wonderful to see the kids in Walmart going up and down the aisles, picking out everything they can see that they think other kids in the hospital would like. It's just such an awesome event.
The Celebrity Hunt fundraiser weekend culminates in a banquet and silent auction. At the banquet, Dave Tatman introduces a few of the families that received help from Aiming for a Cure. Both families that have lost a loved one and families that are currently battling.
Our first family is Maeve Anderson's family. Maeve's transplant stay was 10 months. She spent more than half of her life as a 2-year-old in the hospital. Pretty amazing family. Our second one is Cassandra Daly. Cassie had a transplant last year and has done absolutely wonderfully. Will Rowland family.
You know, there's certain things we do during our banquet. You know, we show some pictures of the kids, and, you know, some of the kids are there, and their families are there, and their families stand up and tell stories. And, I mean, you can't help but sit there and think, what if that was me?
The first year, Aiming for a Cure raised $35,000.
I think if we would have raised $15,000 or $10,000, we would have been ecstatic.
Now, the event brings in around $250,000 per year, with no plans to slow down.
I think we're going to, you know, continue to do things locally. We're probably going to expand out and do some bigger projects with some counseling of some siblings that may have lost a brother or sister. Care, there's other ways that we can provide care for some of the children that are being taken care of, but maybe some prevention of cancer, and then post-treatments of cancer. A lot of times we get out there after cancer treatment and cancer sneaks back in on us, and we want to be ahead of that again so these children can truly be cancer-free the rest of their lives.
It's our responsibility to help those that can't always help themselves, if that's what God wants us to do. And that's what makes me so proud to be here.
This is aiming for a cure. It's not this. It's you guys supporting a dream of a young child. And you guys believing that there's a difference that needs to be made and being made at Aiming for a Cure. I just want you to know how much we appreciate it. 10 years, 20 years, whatever it takes, until they call us up and say, there's no more cancer. We're here to fight.